Hi everyone, this is Lori here with Lori Hooks. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me today. So today is a Yarny catch-up. I just wanted to get on here quick and show you a couple finished objects that I have that I've been working on the last few days. So today is Tuesday, May 23rd, and we are just coming off a holiday weekend here in Canada. It was Victoria Day weekend, so we got an extra day on Monday to do whatever. And for our weekend, we decided to go camping. It was chilly on Saturday. It rained. We got there fairly early on Friday because my husband had Friday off. So I just worked for a couple hours on Friday morning, and then we got ready and we left. So we got there a little earlier than we usually do on Friday. But Friday night, it started to rain around campfire time. We had dinner, it was okay, and then it started to rain around campfire time, so we went into the trailer and we played some cards, and it rained all night Friday night, and Saturday was overcast and chilly. So on Saturday, played some board games, I had a nap, stuff like that. Did a little bit of crocheting on Saturday, and then Sunday was a much nicer day, and enjoyed the sun. Again, I did some crocheting and I brought some knit with me as well. I did some knitting, and Monday we packed up and headed home. So that was our weekend. And then when I got home, I finished off a couple of things that I had started and wanted to get on here and show them to you today. So first of all, let's talk about what I showed you guys last week. That is now a finished item. And that is my hockey gnome. So he is now finished. My husband had asked me a little while ago about, kind of hinted that I should make a hockey gnome. Because he likes hockey, and I generally don't make very many crochet things for him, but he kind of hinted that he'd like a hockey gnome, so I made up this little guy for him. And I dug around on the internet and I could not find a hockey gnome pattern that I did like, so I fudged all this thing up myself. I've made enough gnomes that I can pretty much come up with my own ideas and make a body and arms and do a nose and a beard with, in my sleep, because I've made so many of them. So that's kind of what I did. Is for the body I used, this is all made with Sheepy's Katona, and so for the body I just made my normal gnome body and added a stripe here and 2 stripes on the arms. And the colors that I used, sorry, I should have gotten them out first. So his jersey, this blue is color number 527. The white is color number 105, which is bridal white. I don't remember the name on this blue. And then for his hands and his nose, I used color number 255, which is shell. And the hockey stick, I've put that one away already. And I don't remember what color number that was off the top of my head. I can check my book for you guys afterwards and post it on here. And I keep putting the gnome on the wrong side of me and creating a shadow on my face. So yeah, so his beard is just the felting wool beard that I like using. I think that they come out really nice. And I put a little Toronto Maple Leaf logo on there because my husband is a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. We live just outside of Toronto, so it makes sense that he is a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. And so there's his gnome. So I did kind of hint and ask for this just as the Toronto Maple Leafs were going into playoffs, but I didn't have any yarn of the right color, so I placed an order to get it, and by the time I got it and finished making up this gnome, they had lost the second round in the playoffs and are now out. So the hockey season is now over, but my husband will have a hockey gnome for next year to join him when he watches hockey games. So yeah, so that is my hockey gnome, and that's how he came out. So, and if you are a Leafs fan, you probably know that my coloring is not right. Their colors for their jerseys, when they wear their blue jerseys, they wear blue helmets, and when they wear white jerseys, they wear white helmets, and I don't remember which one's home, and I don't remember which one's away because I don't really watch hockey. But the reason why I did a mixture of the white for the helmet and the blue for the jersey was I just thought that it looked better. If I had made a blue helmet, which would have looked really nice, I just think it would have been way too much blue and it wouldn't have stood out. So that's the reason why I used white for his helmet. So that's my hockey gnome. I'm very happy with how he came out, and my husband really likes him, so that's great. So it's Mr. Hockey Gnome. So the other thing I worked on was I needed a couple small objects or small things to work on while we were away camping on the weekend. And I wear crocheted slippers pretty much every day, all year round. So I started my first pair that I made. I made a pair of crocheted slippers just to keep my feet warm, and I had some Lion Brand woolies around. So that's what I used for my first pair. And my first pair that I used a pattern. The second pair that I made, I probably used a pattern as well, but these ones, I just kind of fudged them up on my own. So I made up some new slippers. So, and they fit me good. They are a little tight right here, but they stretch over time, so I think that's going to be fine. But yeah, so I made myself some new slippers. And I have long feet. They're kind of skinny, but I have long feet, so I wear a size 9, so these fit me. So I just, to make these, I just started with a magic ring and started crocheting in the round. I kept trying them on every, couple rows to make sure that they did fit me. I did do an increase, probably right about here for, where your foot starts to go up, and switch from working in the round to back and forth to do the heel section, and then added this little boot part for the top. And I just did front and back post double crocheted for the little boot part. My slippers that I have right now have a longer boot. They're probably about this high, but I didn't really think that I need the boot as much. I more need the warmth for my feet. And so yeah, those are my crocheted slippers. And I wear these, as I said, pretty much every day. I do have a lot of hardwood in my house. My stairs are hardwood as well. And I don't know why, but I don't find the woolies that slippery. I've had a lot of, like, my mother's commented when I've had them at her place that I should have something on the bottom so they're not slippery, but I don't find them any slipperier than socks are. I find them less slippery than socks. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the wool that's in the woolies that makes it less slippery, but I don't find them slippery at all. So I don't put anything on the bottom. I know different people do different things to make them have an anti-slip, but I've never had an issue with feeling like these are too slippery. So, and I used for these an 8mm hook. And the yarn that I used is this Lion Brand woolies, and the color that I used this time is Sea Glass. So yeah, and I used about 1.5 skeins, maybe 1 3/4 skeins to make these 2 slippers. And these are the small woolly skeins. These are 80 meters each, 5 ounces. So, and that's my slippers. They're pretty thick and dense, pretty stiff, but I think that they need to be that way to last. I think a pair lasts me probably close to a year, and then eventually I wear a hole through the bottom of them. So, and then I need a new pair. The pair that I have right now, I can see that I'm about to wear through the bottom of them. So when I do, I will get these ones out and I will have a new pair to keep my feet warm. So that's what I worked on the weekend. I also worked on a pair of knit socks, but they're not very exciting to show. I just have a little bit of cuff done. So yeah, so that's what I worked on the weekend, and those are my finished objects. So I hope that you guys had a good weekend. If you're in Canada, I hope that you had a wonderful long weekend. If you're in the United States, I believe next weekend is your long weekend, which I'm a little bit jealous of because you know what? My birthday is on the 29th. And if I lived in the States, that would mean that I didn't have to work on my birthday, and that would be really fun. But I don't live in the States. I live here in Canada, and I have to work on the 29th, which is my birthday. But you all in the US, if I don't see you before then, enjoy your Memorial Day weekend on your extra day off on May 29th. I'm pretty sure everybody gets Memorial Day off, right? But yeah. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. And I will see you next time on Lori Hooks. Bye, everyone.